So welcome to this episode of Cancast. I'm here with it's an absolute pleasure to introduce Gary Youds from the Chillin Rooms in Liverpool. He's an absolute legend. If you haven't heard of him, look him up. He's honestly been arrested more times than anybody I've ever met, and he's still going strong and back in this community 100%. So thank you so much, Gary, for having a chat with me. It's an absolute honour.
It's an honour to speak to you, Carly. Thank you for all the work you've been doing, because you're making a difference. I've been following you. You work for a long time, and you're the poster girl. If you could be like the Queen Bee and get us all buzzing again, and just get us all back to work, because the country needs it now. It needs these jobs. It needs this industry to release itself, type of thing, to all the normal people and not just corporate. I mean, homegrown, what it can be, supplied to the clubs. And we've got a system in place, hopefully now, which will do it all cashless with the home growers. So we're well advanced in it. We're going to be rolling out real soon as well.
Yeah, I mean, Gary, you've always been about 30 years ahead of everyone else, so it's really not a surprise. So I know you. Go on.
Sorry, I could set the standards for the whole industry. Do you know? I mean, people can learn off me all my years of hard work behind the scenes and getting this thing, because it's a fine-tuned engine. Like when it's literally ready to roll. So if I open them shutters in a few months when the COVID's over, everyone can open their own little club, can't they? And it's just going to be billions of pounds for the taxman, and just good causes, because Chillin Rooms is a community interest company, so it's going to be giving back 65% of the profits to whatever is needed, type of thing. So there's enough money for everybody. Everyone can earn high wages, and I can have managers and musicians and just free thinkers who are going to come together, because we've been stuck in our houses that long, and segregated from society, because we're scared to go out because we get hunted down. If you've got the wrong flower in your pocket, I mean, you're getting put in a cage. And it's literally, there was 5,000 arrests in Liverpool in 2018. I think Manchester had about 18. So, I mean,
yeah, it's worth noting for people who don't know Gary's work that Gary has been running the Chillin Rooms for, longer than how long now, Gary? 20 years or something?
It opened in 2000. It was conceived in 2002. So it's
almost 20 years, and doing that in possibly the most archaic city for cannabis laws in the country, Merseyside, which has been notorious for just absolute, for taking cannabis laws to the next level as far as arrests and fines and things. And Gary's been championing that. I know about Gary's work. I've been following it for many years, but for people, Gary, who might not know of your work, do you just want to just do a little summary of who you are and what it is that you do, just for those people that might, there won't be many that don't.
Yeah. I'm a businessman from Liverpool. I'm a property developer. And I went to a conference in 2002. I can't.
Oh, sound's gone, Gary. Oh, there you go, back.
It was a cannabis conference called Shaping New Agenda. It was organised through John Moores University, and it was all health professionals and police officers. And I thought, wow, it's going to be legal in 6 weeks. And 20 years later, being on bail, jail, licence or tag or probation non-stop. And I just think it's time to end it now, type of thing. And we're all coming together, and to say I've got you as a friend, so hopefully we can all sing the same song. And we all want the same thing, don't we? At the end of the day, we all want to live in peace. We all want a nice, high-paying job. We all want to look after our families, and we can all look out for one another. And this plant is so beneficial to everybody. I mean, it can be the change, can't it? It can be, after the COVID, we can just open up with the organic future.
Yeah.
Let's roll it out right now, and hopefully you can help me liaise with Merseyside Police and the Police Federation, and let's bring Mike Barton's policies to Merseyside. And Liverpool is electing a new mayor, because our old one's just been sacked for corruption. He got arrested, I think, in November. But we're electing a new crime commissioner as well, Carly. So, I mean,
that's good.
That's gonna be a big vote, isn't it? Because the cannabis vote is going to mean big this time. So if all the cannabis people, or the people who are organically thinking, you know, on our wavelength can get out and vote for these representatives who the governments are putting forward, because they're going to be voted in for 4 years, so they've got to do what the people want, haven't they? And this is what the people want right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Chillin Rooms is Gary's space, which was developed as a cannabis club, which was incredibly popular, wasn't it, Gary?
There was nowhere like it. It was the place of places. It was the place to be in Liverpool. It was the hippest, coolest place.
And you did a really good job of like the space. I mean, it looks beautiful. There was live music. And you were saying before we started recording that you've never had a violent incident or people kicking off, or some of the things that you'd expect to see down the pub has never happened in those 20 years, has it?
Never, ever.
So it was just a peaceful place where people could just come together and consume.
Carly, I didn't even have a cigarette put out on my floor, not once.
Yeah.
Okay, it was literally looked after itself, because the people love being in there who are like, as I say, we've been segregated for that long. Like, people can experience it now with the COVID, the restrictions, what everyone's been under. But I've been under these restrictions for 20 years, type of thing. And like, you can't go out, or you've got a tag on, or I'm in jail. I mean, and like, all these times, like, this is the time to free us, type of thing.
It's just got to have taken its toll, Gary. I mean, I don't know anybody who's been arrested or been in jail for cannabis in the UK as much as you have. I don't know how you keep going. What's your secret?
When good men do nothing, tyranny prospers. I'm holding my head high now with a vision and a plan, and we just want us all to unify and bring us all together, and let's have an adult conversation. And we just need to get the story out, type of thing, because everything I've created, it's for everybody, so everyone can learn off me for all my 20 years. And as I say, I mean, I know there's space for it. There's 50,000 pubs in this country, Carly. So if we could have 2 coffee shops for every pub, we could have 100,000 unique businesses set up right now, all individually owned, all just like family businesses, community businesses.
One of the things that really upsets me about this space is that we've got so many knowledgeable people, and people with really good intentions like yourself, who spent 20 years understanding this plant, understanding how it helps people, extract, people who are amazing at certain types of extractions, people who are incredible growers, and their knowledge is so specialist that in Canada they'd be on 50 grand a year, 100 grand a year or something like that. But here they're underground, like they're seen as criminals. And wouldn't it be great if we could have a system whereby those family businesses could operate legally and support their families and use their knowledge? Because this knowledge is amazing. Like, we've got some incredible people, haven't we, in this country?
Amazing. We've got the best growers in Liverpool who've been doing it for 20 years. So it's just like, this is the time, isn't it? We've all got to be as one, type of thing. And
what do you think about the stigma, Gary? Because obviously you've been in the game for a while. Do you think things have changed from the public's perception of cannabis?
100%. It's like the acceptance is accepted now. It's like it's past the finish line. It's just like, after the wall of prohibition has been demolished, we're just clearing the rubble, type of thing. And once the rubble's cleared, the shoots of growth will just grow, won't they? I mean, it's going to be a homegrown industry, which my model, which will bring, when it'll bring, everyone else will be able to open their unique little space, so no one will be left behind. I'll have jobs for everybody, whether it's making tea, growing for the club, I mean, writing, musician on the stage. I mean, there's that many opportunities and that different angles what we can all work together and achieve.
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like a dream, Gary. Like, it sounds like the perfect model. And I think historically there's been some fractions, hasn't there, in the cannabis community about the way forward, and it's really hard, because I mean, I've tried in the past to bring people together, and sometimes it's worked and sometimes it's really not worked.
There's that many different like little factions who want the same thing, but it's like it's ring fencing it for me, and I've got this idea and I've got that idea, but we all want the same thing. at the end of the day, we all want to roll our little joint up or take our tinctures or our oil or our, just be more organic and get back to nature.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It would be better if, you know, if the communities could come together. And I suppose there's been a historical sort of fight between medicinal and recreational. And it's funny because when I speak to like some of the groups in like Canada and the States, they're like, we were exactly the same, like the medical and the recreational things, all fighting. And I was like, there's just no need to be fighting. We all agree that this plant is a great thing. So I suppose, I mean, it's difficult, but I'd really like to see a bit more unity and a bit more coming together in the spirit of the plant, and a bit less ego in the space would be great. Yeah. I mean, we'd see change quicker, wouldn't we?
We could leave our egos at the door, all of us, anyone in this space, and all like be as one type of thing. As I say, we all want the same thing, and that's if my model opens up, Carly, it opens the door to everybody. Okay, it's not me. It's the space for 500 coffee shops in Liverpool, the space for 1,000 coffee shops in London. I mean, these are all of them individually owned with their own little unique space and their own little names, just to bring the high street back together and bring good.
Yeah, absolutely. So that model, do you think would you say it's similar to the Spanish model, as in the cannabis clubs, as in like there's a membership and there's a grow operation and you can go in and buy?
It's like, it's some Spanish, some Amsterdam, and lots of Scouse.
I love it, Gary.
We've brought the Liverpool music vibey talent to the stage, and you know, so with a bit of everything, and hopefully everyone can learn off us.
And it sounds like a coffee shop, but with more celebration to me, which sounds very Scouse. Because if there's any celebrating to do about anything, it's going to be a Scouser instigating it in there.
Carly, we've got the ultimate chill out place. It really is. It's beyond. It was, all my expectations, right, were met in full times 1,000. When I was standing there some nights and like the musicians and the free thinkers used to come in, like it made me very, very proud. And then I went home every night with a big smile on my face, and I was that high on life that, I mean, it didn't compare to anything I'd ever experienced before. So this experience, people are going to experience it really soon, because hopefully when the COVID's over, I'll be opening my shutters. I've got lots of people singing my song now, type of thing. I've been behind the scenes meeting people, and as I say, I'm talking to you today. I mean, I've been talking to Mike Barnes and O'Neill Woods. I mean, lots of people, you know, I've had contact with as well. I've also got a Birmingham Chamber of Commerce accountant who's on the Treasury Committee, who's hopefully going to be steering Chillin Rooms with me and bringing about the acceptance, and to say we can all be as one. I've got a plan for Chillin Rooms as well. I'm building an extension on it now. I've been up there yesterday, and it's a big glass roof I'm putting on, and I've got a boardroom to fit 42 people around it, one big granite table. So it's hopefully we'll all be at the table, and as I say, you'll be invited down, and you'll experience what we've got, Carly, and it's the highest order.
I mean, okay? It sounds it. You've never done out by halves, have you, Gary?
It's just it was a long time coming together, but I mean, it's unique. It's one in a million. Like it's I'm sure you'll experience it soon. But if you ask about, like, lots of people have been in over the years, you know, you've been there, like, and you've had amazing times, and it's not just me saying it. Like, you can, it's got a good name, type of thing. Yeah.
So when was the last time you got raided then? When was the last time Chillin Rooms got hit?
It's been closed now for 4 years.
Yeah. So the last time was it 2016 or something like that?
Well, like, I think it was 2018. Or right. I got arrested in 2018 9 times. So I mean, I was scared to go out the house in the end. They were just hunting me down every day. But hopefully, you're my friend now, Carly, so we can put a warm blanket on between us, and get me some communication with Merseyside Police Federation, okay? Because we really can make a difference, and we can bring the peace. We can give everyone a job, and people are getting shot in Liverpool every other day, Carly.
Yeah.
It really, it's beyond a joke. The drug war is unwinnable. It's getting, like Neil Wood says, it's getting more violence, and the police tactics are just making the gangsters more centralised, aren't they? And the more guns, and okay, it's got to stop. It's like the 20s prohibition type of thing. And
that reminds me of whenever the Merseyside are asked about cannabis or changing their stance, they always say the same thing, which is cannabis causes harm to communities.
Usual government rhetoric.
I mean, I know what I always say back to that, but what do you say back to that? Does cannabis do harm to communities?
They don't speak to me. They usually put me in the cells.
Right.
Yeah, I'm always in the cells. I don't have no dialogue with them type of thing, because they're not interested. They've got that policy and there's no deviating off the line type of thing. But the way evolution type of thing.
Yeah, the way I see it is that prohibition is doing the harm to the communities, actually.
Yeah.
And that because we've got they're not going to stop illicit market cannabis until they bring about some way, some other kind of access routes, opening up home grow, opening up community clubs, that kind of thing.
Safe spaces, Carly.
Yeah, I think
safe spaces.
It's the illicit market and the competitiveness among county lines, and particularly in Liverpool, like organised crime, the same in London. That's the stuff that's doing harm to communities. I'm not sure that the plant itself has done any harm to communities. I just can't see it. I just can't get my head around it.
There's no regulation whatsoever, is there? So, I mean, if it was regulated, that's when it'd stop all the violence. I mean, alcohol, no one's shooting each other for a bottle of alcohol, are they? Because it's regulated in a safe space. And alcohol's well worse. It kills thousands of people every year. It causes all the violence, all the murder, and it's the real gateway drug to the cocaine, isn't it? Because people's inhibitions are down once they have them few drinks of alcohol. And I know this, Carly, because I run a pub for 10 years, and I was behind the bar and having my little smoke and watching what goes on, like observing, and people's just perceptions change when they have that drink, don't they? And the guards are down type of thing, and it is in every pub. There's cocaine in every pub type of thing, and if you just observe things and see what's going on, and as I say, there's an underbelly of corruption, what's happening everywhere, and just the 1% who are bringing it all, Carly. We can stop all that, and that just be the change. Me and you, okay? Me and you can join up and. Thank you.
I want to. I just think you've been through too much, and I think you deserve this community support, and now you deserve the police's support rather than them haranguing you and harassing you. And I just don't see the point of it. I mean, I think that you're doing something beautiful for the community, and I totally take my hat off to the fact that you're still going, because so many people, in this space that had good intentions and have been through similar things gave up the first time round. I mean, you're like, I don't know, you're like a cat with like 45 lives. I don't know. You still like, Gary's been arrested again. And he's still going. He's coming back. He's coming back. He's got a constant comeback.
I'm not going away this time, Carly. I'm here to stay.
You've never gone away, Gary.
I'm not going away. Okay, I'm really, I'm banging my hands on the table, and let's all come together and all be as one. And okay, help me get past this post in Liverpool. Okay, and everyone can just open their own little clubs, and okay, it'll be like the war's over. That'll be the
I mean,
the benchmark.
That'd be great. I'm more than happy to see what I could do to help, for sure. I just don't want any more handcuffs going anywhere near you. Yes. So I think that there's lots of community problems that you're solving, and you're just providing some people with a safe place to go. And I think why is that an arrestable offence? I just can't get my head around it. I never have been able to. It just doesn't make any sense to me as a human being.
Carly, you've spent millions of pounds on me with some of the military raids over the years. You wouldn't believe it. Up to like 50 police officers and army vehicles, what is pushing doors in, and all with helmets on and body armour. I mean, and all my friends are sitting there the most chilled out people in the whole of the UK, having a safe time. And
I wonder if this would be a cool idea, just off the top of my head. if we tried to figure out how much money Merseyside police have spent on you, on arresting you and coming to the club, and then we compare that with the amount of money that's been taken away from organised crime and put into a community group, how much money you've saved going to people who sell with violence versus sell through your model and give them.
My model to Carly was, I don't want your money, okay? You grow your own and I will buy it off you. That's much better, isn't it? So you don't have to work for your habit no more. Your habit works for you.
Yeah.
So I've totally spun things around. So it's beneficial for everybody. And if all of these growers can be plugged into the app type of thing and be paying the taxes, we can have 100 different growers for each club, all locally produced, where the money is going back to the community.
And then you're cutting out the middle, which is, I mean, it's not always an issue. So sometimes, so in Brighton, for example, the growers, they usually grow organic cannabis. It goes to one like dealer, the dealer runs around with it. But I know in some other, you know, particularly Liverpool, there is a big sort of organised crime sort of gangs flogging it, and you know, the violence that is around that on keeping their territories and keeping their.
I think that's the Class A drugs, isn't it? The crack cocaine.
It's the Class A, yeah, but they tend to do both.
They lump us in on the same rhetoric, don't they? Which is totally different. My friends are all happy farmers who are keeping their heads down, okay, I mean, and scared. That's sit there in fear every day that the door's going to come in, and okay, there's going to be 10 fellas with masks on smashing the door down.
Yeah.
That's what you fear, Carly. Okay, they're not criminals.
No, for sure. That's what I mean. And I think there's some well-intentioned people that deserve the, you know, they're doing really they're growing really beautiful strains. They're looking after them. Their heart goes into it, don't they? You know, every day they're there. They're
growing with love.
You know, it's all love. And then, you know, there's the opposite side, which is sort of a bit more commercial and a bit more grim. And really, that's the area that the police are worried about. You know, like people trafficking county lines, getting involved.
I'd like to keep it below. I think there's new guidelines for 7 plants, isn't there? So if you get caught with less than 7, I know if you get caught with 2, you're getting a £50 fine. 2 plants, but we can grow big plants now in Liverpool. So
that's the thing that makes me laugh, because you know, they base it on plants, but you know, if you go to California in somebody's backyard, 1 plant is like the size of a bloody oak tree. I'm like, oh yeah, that's all right. 1 plant, it takes up the majority of the house, and that's it makes me laugh that, you know, there's not even that knowledge, is there? There's like, oh, if it's 2 plants, what if the 1 plant is the size of your house? Does that still count as 1 plant? I don't know. But I know, I agree with you. I think there's definitely a way forward where we can move some of the money away from the people that the police are worried about.
Yeah, we can regulate the black market, Carly. My way regulates the black market. It takes it out of the black market and puts it in a safe space. And as I say, people can learn off my model and make their own little safe space for their friends and their family, and employ their friends and employ their family, and get their musician friends round. And, you know, it'll grow itself organically, and no one needs finances. Everything can just come from the community. Yeah. Really can. And I think it would be
a good exercise for police to see how much money they've spent on policing you, and how much.
Carly, I think over £2 million, maybe up to £3 million over the years. I really do, with the court cases and the jails and the tag and the probation, non-stop, all because I've put my head above the parapet and said, hang on a minute, let's do something different. This isn't working. This drug war is like unwinnable the way the situation is, and let's like take it off the streets and provide a safe place and things right and pay the tax and everything. I've ticked every box for everybody, Carly, so the whole community can wrap a big warm blanket around itself, and you know, just we'll all have a spring in our step every day when we go out the house. We'll all, like, you know, we water our plants, or filling the dishwasher, or watching the bands, or just communicating and getting out of our own little prison cells in our own houses, because there's millions of us now, isn't there? We're all like from policemen to solicitors to barristers to judges, everybody smokes cannabis, okay? And when they can, like, come out the green closet in the future, which is what me and you want, isn't it? Because people can't actually say they smoke it still, because the career will be finished. If you're a school teacher or something, yeah, you mentioned the word cannabis, and that's it, your career's over. But I mean, these people are the free thinkers, the ones who are, university is lots of cannabis, hasn't it? Students take drugs. I know, because lots of them used to come my cafe, and I used to say to them, come here, but it's strictly organic. So, like, it's separated the drug market, Carl. You know, like, people weren't snorting coke in the toilet or taking MDMA or something. I mean, this is like an everyday life, isn't it? In the nightclubs and the bars and the, you know, just the party scene.
Yeah.
Just whenever, especially for the teenagers. So let's get them all safe. No one's ever died of smoking cannabis, have they, or in vaping cannabis, or eating edibles or tinctures now, which is, there's a safer way to consume type of thing. So if we can bring, like, the education and the home growers and the quality and the just the everything about it is going to be a game changer. So
I agree. So what's next for Chillin Rooms, Gary?
Building a new boardroom, Carly. And hopefully you'll be sitting around my table, and you'll come and we'll just we'll grow from grassroots, and we'll provide for everybody, and no one will be left behind, and we'll have put crime out of business. That's my business plan. Give everyone a job, end poverty, and
I think we need to pitch that to the police. This is what I'm doing for you. This is how much money I'm saving you. And actually, this is how much money you've spent policing me, saving you money.
Carly, half of Merseyside Police's budget is spent solely on cannabis.
And probably most of that has gone on you, actually, Gary.
Well, hopefully, Carly, I'd like to not reform, but stop spending all the money on that, and maybe call up the peace officers, you know, so they bring the peace. No, like, rather than policy officers, which is put us in the system and see how much we can collect. So peace officers, that'd be nice for the future, wouldn't it? A little cannabis leaf on their motive, on their arm, maybe a little green uniform once a day, because you've got the rainbow flag, haven't you, for LGBT and things. So one day a year, so let's have a 420 day where they'll all dress up and put a cannabis leaf on their arm in green uniform.
If anyone's gonna get there, Gary, that'll be you. That actually leads me nicely into my last question, which was, if you had a magic wand and you could literally just wave it now, and the cannabis space could be how you want it to be, what would that look like?
Just real freedom, wouldn't it? Just let me open up. Let me show people how good the experience is, and let everyone else, like, open the industry up to everyone, Carly.
Yeah,
that's what I want. I want it open up to everyone, but everyone will have to pay the tax and do things right and look after their customers and their patrons and their friends and and run your own business, because no one runs a business like yourself, do they? So, like, you're going to have to work 16-hour days. That's what I have to work. So roll your sleeves up now, everybody, and take this opportunity and coming together, especially me, Carly speaking to me type of thing. I'm on it, like, because you're the queen bee, Carly, as far as I'm concerned, you've got the access to the police federation and the MPs and just bring unity for us all, bring us all together, and let's grow together.
Working on it.
Good.
You heard Gary. Roll your sleeves up, everyone. That's an awesome way to end. Thank you so much, Gary, for this.
Thank you, Carly. Will you keep in touch with me?
Give you a soppy kiss, but I can't because I'm miles away and we're in lockdown. But I'm going to stay on the line for a minute, but I'm going to stop the recording. So thank you,
Carly.
everybody.
Peace and love. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.